Challenger Deep is the deepest known point in Earth's oceans, nearly 7 miles down. Pressure at the bottom is over 16,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush a car into a soda can, enough to kill you in ways you can't imagine. I've worked at Research Station Hadal 7 for 2 years, marine biologist. I study extremophiles, organisms that survive in conditions that would kill everything else. Down here, life exists in total darkness, crushing pressure, near freezing temperatures. Things that shouldn't survive do. The station sits at 26,000 feet, not quite at the bottom, but close. 6 crew members: Dr. Sarah Chen, our chief scientist; Marcus Webb, engineer; Dr. Yuki Tanaka, geologist; James Park, systems technician; Anna Rodriguez, operations coordinator; and me, Dr. David Reeves. We live in a titanium sphere the size of a large house, thick walls, reinforced viewports, life support that recycles everything. Our connection to the surface is a cable carrying power and communications. We can't leave without a submersible, can't survive outside without specialized equipment. We're as isolated as astronauts. More, maybe. At least space is empty. Down here, something is always pressing against the hull, always watching from the dark. 3 days ago, our sonar picked up something strange, an anomaly on the ocean floor about 200 meters from the station. Regular, geometric, definitely not natural. Sarah authorized a submersible survey. Marcus and I went down in the Nereus 4, a 2-person deep-sea vehicle rated for full trench depth. The descent took 40 minutes. Outside the viewports, nothing but black. Our lights cut maybe 20 feet through the water before getting swallowed. The sonar reading got stronger as we approached. Then our lights hit it. A door. Not a rock formation that looked like a door, not some trick of geology, an actual door. Smooth metal surface, rectangular, about 9 feet tall by 5 feet wide, set into the rock face like someone had carved out a space and installed it there. Marcus killed the thrusters. We drifted in the current, both of us staring. "That's impossible," he said. I didn't answer. My brain was trying to process what I was seeing. Metal shouldn't exist down here, not without massive corrosion. But this was clean, perfect, like it had been installed yesterday. "We need to document this," I said. Started taking photos with the external cameras. Surface is going to want every angle. We spent 20 minutes circling it, recording, taking measurements. The door was flush with the rock, but sonar showed the rock behind it was hollow, empty. A space maybe 30 feet deep. A room or a corridor. Something deliberately carved out of the seafloor. "Should we try the handle?" Marcus asked. "No." My voice came out too sharp. "No. We document and report. Let surface decide next steps." But I wanted to. God help me, I wanted to reach out and try it. See if it would open. See what was inside. We returned to the station. Uploaded everything to the surface team. Got confirmation they'd received it. Then, we waited. Surface response came 6 hours later. They'd consulted with geological experts, marine archaeologists, military contacts. No one had any explanation. No known civilization had the technology to build something at this depth. No records of any installation, research or military in this location. The door shouldn't exist, but it did. Their orders were clear. Do not attempt to open it. Maintain observation. They were sending a specialized team down. ETA 72 hours. Sarah gathered us in the common area. showed us the surface directives. "We observe only," she said. "No physical contact, no attempts to interact. We're scientists, not explorers. We wait for the proper team." Everyone nodded. Professional, reasonable. But I saw it in their faces, the same thing I felt. Curiosity, the need to know. We'd found something impossible, and they wanted us to just look at it for 3 days. That night, I couldn't sleep. Lay in my bunk, staring at the curved titanium ceiling, listening to the station creak under the pressure, the deep, resonant groans that never quite stopped. And underneath that, something else. Faint, rhythmic, like distant machinery. I'd never noticed it before, but now I couldn't unhear it. The next morning, Yuki was acting strange, distracted. During breakfast, she kept looking at the live feed from the external cameras. We'd positioned one to watch the door, just a dark rectangle in darker water. "You okay?" I asked. "Did you hear it last night?" she said quietly. "Hear what?" "The knocking." I felt cold. "What knocking?" "On the hull. 3 knocks, then silence, then 3 more." She looked at me. "You didn't hear it?" "I heard something. Thought it was the station settling." "It wasn't settling." Her voice dropped. "It was coming from the direction of the door." That afternoon, James reported a malfunction in the external sensors. 3 of them had gone offline simultaneously, the ones facing the door. Marcus went to check the connections, found nothing wrong, but when he tried to reboot them, they came back online showing something strange. Heat signatures in the water near the door, moving. "That's impossible," Sarah said, staring at the display. "Nothing generates that much heat at this depth." "Could be volcanic activity," Anna suggested. "Hydrothermal vent nearby?" "We'd have detected that in the initial survey," Yuki said. We watched the signatures move, 4 of them circling the door. Not random, deliberate patterns, like something patrolling. Then they stopped, all 4. Perfectly still, directly facing our station. The temperature readings spiked, hot enough to boil water. Then they vanished, just gone. Sensors showed normal deep ocean temperature. "Equipment malfunction," Sarah said. Her voice was firm, but I heard the uncertainty underneath. "We'll note it in the log. James, run a full diagnostic." But none of us believed it was equipment failure. I found Yuki in the observation lounge at 2 a.m. She was standing at the viewport, staring out into the black. "Can't sleep either?" I asked. She didn't turn. "There's something out there. Swimming patterns, regular intervals." I moved beside her, looked out. At first, nothing, just darkness. Then I saw it, a faint bioluminescence, blue-green, moving past the window in a slow arc. Then another, and another. Dozens of them, all moving in the same pattern, circling the station. "Those aren't fish," Yuki said. "Fish don't swim in formation like that." She was right. The movement was too coordinated, too purposeful. Maybe they're curious, deep-sea life investigating the station. For 6 hours? She finally looked at me. "I've been watching since midnight. Same pattern, never breaking formation, never stopping." We watched in silence. The lights circled, patient, persistent. "Yuki," I said carefully, "what do you think the door is?" She pressed her hand against the viewport. "And I think we're being warned not to cross it." Morning brought a new problem. The cable, our lifeline to the surface, damaged. Marcus discovered it during routine checks. Severed fibers in the communications bundle, not worn, cut, clean edges. Something bit through it, he said, showing us the frayed end. Strong enough to cut reinforced cable, precise enough to target specific fibers. Can you repair it? Sarah asked. Not without going outside, and even then, he shook his head. We'd need to splice in new cable. That's a 12-hour job in normal conditions. At this pressure, with limited visibility, it could take days. So we're cut off, Anna said. We still have power, but no data transmission, no voice communication. Marcus looked at Sarah. We're alone until the specialized team arrives. 48 hours. We just had to last 48 hours. The knocking started that night. All of us heard it. 3 sharp strikes against the hull. Pause. 3 more strikes. Different location. It moved around the station, methodical, like something testing for weak points. We gathered in the common area. Nobody spoke, just listened to the knocking circle us, patient, persistent. Then it stopped. Silence for maybe 30 seconds. Then a new sound, scraping, metal on metal, long drawn-out scrapes that vibrated through the walls. Something's trying to get in, James whispered. Sarah stood. Everyone to the control room, now. We followed her, sealed the pressure door behind us. The control room was the most reinforced section of the station. If something breached the hull, this would be our safe room. The scraping continued, louder now, more aggressive. Then voices, faint outside the hull, speaking in a language I didn't recognize. Multiple voices, overlapping, all saying the same words in unison. Yuki gasped. That's Old Chamorro, a dead language from the Mariana Islands. What are they saying? Sarah asked. Yuki listened. Her face went pale. They're saying you opened it. You let us out. We didn't open anything, Anna said. We didn't touch the door. Maybe we didn't have to, I said. Maybe just finding it was enough. The voices stopped. The scraping stopped. Everything went silent. We waited. 10 minutes. 20. Nothing. Then, the lights went out. Emergency backup kicked in immediately, bathing everything in red. But through the viewport, outside, I saw something. The bioluminescent lights, hundreds of them now, all gathered in front of our station, all focused on us. And among them, shapes, tall, wrong proportions, moving through the water in ways that defied physics. Don't look at them, Yuki said. If you look directly at them, they see you. Too late. I'd already made eye contact with one. It stopped moving, turned fully toward me, even through the water, through the viewport, through the pressure and darkness. I felt its attention lock onto me. My nose started bleeding. Marcus got the main power back online. The shapes scattered when the floods came on, retreating into deeper darkness. But they didn't leave. I could feel them out there, waiting. We need to talk about the door, Sarah said. We were back in the common area, exhausted, terrified. My nose had stopped bleeding, but I could still feel where that thing had looked at me, a cold spot in my brain, foreign. Those things came from inside, Sarah continued. When we found the door, we disturbed something, released something. The door was already unlocked, I said. If it was meant to contain something, why wasn't it sealed? Maybe it was, Yuki said quietly. Maybe it was locked from the inside, and whatever was in there finally figured out how to open it. We sat with that, the implications, An empty room behind an unlocked door. Something that had been trapped for how long? Decades? Centuries? Longer? "We have to go back," Anna said. Everyone looked at her. "We have to go back to the door and close it. If we opened it by finding it, maybe we can seal it by doing what?" Marcus interrupted. "We don't even know how it opens. How would we close it?" "There has to be a mechanism, something inside." "Then someone would have to go into whatever that space is with those things." Silence. "They're not going to make it 48 hours, I said. "Whatever's out there, it's getting bolder, more aggressive. If we wait for the specialized team, they're going to arrive at a dead station." Sarah closed her eyes, opened them. "David, you and I will take the submersible to the door. The rest of you seal yourselves in the control room. If we don't make it back..." She didn't finish. We launched the Nereus 4 at dawn, if you could call it that. No sunrise at this depth. Just the same eternal darkness. The shapes followed us. I could see them on sonar, dozens of contacts, keeping pace with the submersible, circling. "They're hurting us," Sarah said. She was right. Whenever we deviated from a direct path to the door, the contacts would tighten formation, pushing us back on course. They wanted us to reach the door. 10 minutes to target, the lights appeared on our viewports, bioluminescent blues and greens, but wrong colors, colors that hurt to look at directly. 5 minutes, the pressure sensors started reading incorrectly, showing numbers that didn't make sense, higher than possible, then lower, then negative values. "Instruments are failing," Sarah said. "It's not the instruments. The pressure is changing. The water here isn't behaving normally." 2 minutes. The door appeared in our lights. Still clean, still perfect, still impossible. But now, it was open. Just a crack, maybe 6 inches. Darkness beyond. Absolute. Our lights didn't penetrate it at all. Sarah stopped the thrusters. We drifted. "We have to go inside," she said. "I know. You don't have to come. I can..." "Yes, I do." We suited up. The submersible had an airlock, barely big enough for one person, but we could cycle through it. The suits were experimental tech, supposed to protect us at full trench depth for up to 6 hours. We'd never tested them in actual conditions. Until now. I went first, stepped into the airlock, heard the water rushing in as it flooded, felt the pressure build. The suit held. Then I was outside, in the water, in the dark. The shapes circled closer. I could see them now, not clearly, just suggestions of form. Too many limbs, too many joints, faces that were almost human but not quite, mouths that moved wrong. They parted, made a path to the door. Sarah cycled through, joined me. Together we swam toward the opening. The water felt wrong here, thicker, colder than it should be. My suit temperature readings were dropping despite the heating elements. We reached the door. Up close, I could see the metal was covered in marks, not carved, scratched from the inside, like something had been trying to get out for a very, very long time. "Together," Sarah said. We pulled. The door swung open smoothly, no resistance, no sound. Beyond was a corridor, straight, narrow, walls of the same dark metal, and at the end, maybe 30 feet in, light, red light, pulsing slowly. We entered. The door closed behind us. Not slammed, just swung shut with gentle finality. We were in an airlock. Water drained rapidly through vents in the floor. Pressure equalized. Atmosphere flooded in. Our suits registered breathable air. Impossible. We were 7 miles underwater. The inner door opened. The corridor stretched ahead. The red light pulsed at the end, regular as a heartbeat. We moved forward. The walls were smooth, clean, no corrosion, no growth, no sign of age. But there were markings, symbols, repeated in patterns along both walls. "That's the same language," Sarah said. "The one from the voices." "Can you read it?" "No, but Yuki might be able to. It's a warning, I think. The symbol of danger, repeated over and over." We reached the end of the corridor, a chamber, circular, maybe 20 feet across, and in the center, on a pedestal, something that looked like a machine, or an engine, or a heart. It was organic and mechanical at the same time, pulsing, beating, growing, and connected to it, feeding it, were cables, thick, black, running through channels in the floor, running down through the rock, down toward the trench, I said. "It's connected to the entire trench. This thing is connected to the whole deep ocean." Sarah moved closer, reached out. "Don't touch it," I said. Too late. Her glove brushed the surface. The pulsing stopped. Everything went still. Then the thing opened, unfolded, revealed what was inside. A person, or what used to be a person, suspended in the mechanism, connected to it, kept alive by it, or kept functional, or kept aware. Its eyes opened, looked at us, recognized us, and spoke. Not out loud, in our heads, both of us at once. "You shouldn't have come." We don't remember how we got back to the submersible. One moment we were in that chamber, staring at that thing that used to be human, listening to it explain what the door was really for. The next, we were outside, swimming, the door sealed behind us. The shapes didn't follow us back, just watched as we returned to the station. Sarah won't talk about what we saw, what we learned. She's written it in her log, sealed the file, marked it classified. The specialized team arrived yesterday. They're going to open the door again. They're going to go inside. They're going to study it. They don't understand what it is, what it's protecting us from. The door isn't keeping something in, it's keeping something out, something that lives deeper than the trench, something that shouldn't be disturbed. And the person inside that machine, connected to it, powering it, they're not trapped. They're volunteering. They're holding the line. They've been down there for a very long time, longer than any human civilization, longer than most species. And they said others would come when the current guardian finally fails, when the door can't be maintained anymore. They asked if we would stay, if we would take their place, if we would become the next door. We said no. We ran. But I can still feel it, that cold spot in my brain where the shape looked at me, growing, spreading. And I know I'm going to go back. Maybe not today, maybe not this year, but eventually I'm going to swim back down to that door, walk through that corridor, and take my place inside that machine. Because something has to keep the door closed. Something has to keep them out. And I already know what's down there in the dark, waiting, pressing, testing the boundaries. The door is unlocked, but someone has to stay and keep it shut. Someone always has.